Welcome to odds.com, continuing MLB playoff coverage. The Rays just put the finishing touches on a Game 3 5-2 victory over the Astros, which means it is time to get to work and beat these market moves. It's late at night, and we got Nolly Nose rolling with us. Nolly, I want to ask how you're doing, but I'm fearful for the answer. It was a wild game 2 in the NLCS. Why don't you take it away? How are you, my friend?
Yeah, Jimmy, not doing too well. Still licking my wounds right now. But one thing, we can ride high a little bit. That the bats woke up a little bit late, so it gave me a little bit of encouragement going into tomorrow. I guess that's the only glimmer of hope that I'm holding on to right now. But yeah, that wasn't very fun. But seeing the Astros lose once again, that was fun. So I'll take it.
Yes, the Astros did lose. I had a nice day. My Braves full game plus 140 was voided with the Kershaw pitching change. I backed into it again. I took a first 5 plus 110 and a full game plus 120. Let me just go to my tracker and make sure. Yes, first 5 plus 110, full game plus 120. I cashed both of those. I had Astros first 5 minus 105. I cashed, and then I lost Astros full game plus 100. So overall, a 2.3 unit night that I desperately needed. All right, before we start breaking these down, let's talk about Kershaw. What did you think when you heard he was scratched, and how does that change your outlook on the series?
It was a big blow, definitely a big blow, and it does change significantly everything that about the series. And the advantage that I thought that the Dodgers had was in the starting rotation. And you take one of the main starters out. Now, does that advantage remain? That's to be seen. The one thing that was encouraging, they did see him in the bullpen throwing a little bit, just a little bit of long toss, a little bit throwing. So I don't know what the main concern is, or I don't know whether or not they're gonna try to still throw him in Game 4. That's to be seen. But I got confused, and I'm shocked, and I don't know. I'm desperate right now.
Well, you are down 2-0 to the mighty Braves. Julio Urias going up against Kyle Wright. The opening number is minus 175 at Bet365. This total was initially juiced to the under 9.5 just by 5 cents. It's now a pick'em, but that is where we stand right now. A minus 175 for the Dodgers. This total sitting at 9.5. NLCS Game 3, Atlanta up 2-0. Globe Life Field in Arlington, Texas. Julio Urias, 3-0, 3.27 ERA, 1.15 whip, 55 innings, 45 Ks, 18 walks during the regular season. In the playoffs, he's looked very good. 2-0, 0.00 ERA, 0.63 whip, 8 innings, 11 Ks, 1 walk. Then we get to Kyle Wright. Kyle Wright, a very highly thought of prospect, couldn't find the plate throughout the regular season. He was just walking batter after batter. He went 2-4, 5.21 ERA, 1.55 whip, 38 innings, 30 Ks, 24 walks. Something changed for him in his last couple starts leading into the playoffs, and he carried that over into the wild card series. 1-0, 0.00 ERA, 0.83 whip, 6 innings, 7 Ks, 2 walks for Kyle Wright. And I say wild card series. What I meant to say is the divisional series, which is where he pitched, because they swept that wild card series very quick. These Braves have yet to lose a game in the playoffs. They are rolling. Now, we talked about the Braves versus lefties yesterday, thinking that Kershaw was going to be pitching. Now we have another lefty with Julio Urias, so these numbers improved again. The Braves are now hitting 344 with a 1.042 whip against lefties. The Dodgers' numbers versus righties continue to plummet. They're now hitting 235 with a 698 OPS versus righties after hitting 259, 837 OPS during the regular season. The Braves' bullpen still pitching lights out, 2.22 ERA, 0.85 whip, but they were touched They were touched. So who got hurt? 6 relievers came in after Ian Anderson. Ian Anderson had a tough time. Ian Anderson went 4 innings, 1 hit, 0 earned runs, 5 walks, 5 Ks, but 6 relievers came in. The Braves had a 7-0 lead going to the bottom of the 7th and squeaked out an 8-7 victory. Freeman went 2 for 4 with a homer and 3 RBIs. Albies 3 for 4 with a homer and 2 RBIs. Gonsolin got touched for 5 earned runs over 4 in the 3rd. Seager went 2 for 4 with 1 homer and 4 RBIs. I look at this spot with the way the Braves are hitting lefties, the way Kyle Wright is improving late in the year, and again, I feel the value is on the Braves. Take it away, Nolly. What are you thinking? How are you going to bet this?
As of right now, I'm not sure how to attack this, so I wanted to kind of break it down, talk things out, and maybe see if I can find an edge and maybe see what I'm really feeling here. Here with Julio Urias on the mound, like you said, he's pitched really well here in this postseason, and none of these guys have had success. Mind you, only 4 innings pitched against these Braves in his career. That came back in 2019 in 2 different relief appearances. Has only given up 1 hit, which was an infield single to Chavarria, who's on the bench, I believe. And here, I expect him to continue what he's done. You know, they're showing a lot of trust in the youngster, putting him out here in Game 3, situation that I expected him to be in, regardless if Kershaw pitched here or not. I expected him to go Game 3. They have a lot of trust in him. They used him a lot out of the bullpen. But his last start, he got thrust in there against San Diego and pitched really, really well, something that I like to see out of him. And I'm really high on him, and I expect him to come in and be able to slow these bats down enough. I understand the way that these Atlanta Braves have been hitting. But, I mean, you see that 5th inning, a lot had to do with some of these walks and weren't able to get some key outs by the relief pitching. Baez just wasn't able to get it done, and it was really tough to see. Kyle Wright on the other side, you mentioned it, was really struggling earlier in the season. Had a 7.20 ERA through August 14th. Then they send him to the alternate site. Typically, we're saying send him down, but they send him to the alternate site, spends almost 3 weeks over there and basically figuring stuff out. And one thing they talked about is he adopted a more aggressive approach on batters, going after them, not trying to strike everybody out, but trying to get early outs on swings. And then another thing, he moved towards the first base side on the mound. And the last thing, based on analytics, he tried to use his 2-seam fastball significantly more, and he's reaped the benefits of those changes. His first time out, though, he did get hit against the Marlins, but after that, he's put forth 4 solid efforts. You know, what we call a solid outing, 6 innings pitch, at least 3 runs or less, and he's given up only 3 runs in one of them, 0, 2, and 0. So he's looked a lot better. And the biggest thing when you look at his strikeout to walk ratio, 18-8 in the month of September, 7-2 in his start in the postseason. And when you look at before that, significantly worse. When you look at his strikeouts in the month of August, 13 walks to 9 Ks. So it's been a big increase in his numbers with these changes that he's made. A big concern in this game, when you talked about, were the relievers that were used. 6 relievers on both sides were used. The Dodgers on the day before used 5 relievers. So in this spot, the Dodgers need Urias to come in and pitch. He's got to pitch past the 5th inning if the Dodgers expect to do much. But I do expect him to pitch well. The question mark is Kyle Wright. Kyle Wright is a guy that's a big prospect for these Atlanta Braves and a guy that they expect him to do well. So his resurgence is no surprise. And the way these bats have been not hitting for the Dodgers, it can be a bit of concern. But the way that they seem to turn it on late in those innings with a little sense of urgency is a glimmer of hope. And I'm leaning towards the Dodgers right now. And but it's hard for me to take them because of what's going on and what's transpired these last couple of days. But I think the Dodgers are the look. I think it's hard for them. It's hard for me to see them lose. I understand. I'm rocking. I'm trying to change things around. I wasn't going to wear the gear, but I'm trying to change things around, you know. And but honestly, this is a good spot for them. I like Urias, and he's fresh, and I think he's going to give a good performance.
I made a mistake yesterday, and it didn't cost me because the bet was voided with the pitching change. But I locked in my action on the Braves early at plus 140, and money was coming in on the Dodgers. And do you expect that to happen again here. Do you think that money's going to come in on the Dodgers and that the backers of the Braves will only get more and more value the longer they wait?
Without a doubt, not just for multiple reasons. Everybody hears these stats about getting swept and losing multiple games, and people just don't expect it. Just based on that basis, I felt that a lot of people were going to take the Astros today, and it didn't work out. I'm not saying was it the right or wrong move. I'm not mentioning that, but it's just an angle that people like to attack. It's not going to happen again. Black is not coming up again. So it's just an angle that I see, and then people are in love with the Dodgers. Hard not to be. They put up a lot of great numbers, but I mean, I've got a couple question marks today, questions asked today before the game, whether or not they should take the Dodgers, and I advised against it. And I mean, these Braves are for real. They're a solid team. They're evenly matched with the Dodgers. So to get value, you would have to take the Braves. I would understand that when you're talking value based, but seeing what the Dodgers were able to do, wake up a little bit, and I think I have a little bit more faith in Urias. He's been in the game a little bit more, been been in multiple playoff positions, and just the guy I'm trusting in this spot here.
The Braves have had 10 at-bats, 12 plate appearances against Julio Urias, and nary a hit on the board. So they're 0 for 10 with 2 walks, a 0 batting average, a 167 on-base percentage. Ugly numbers. And only 2 batters have faced Kyle Wright. Mookie Betts and A.J. Pollock have both faced him once, and they are 0 for 2. So not a lot of information to be gathered there. Let's talk about this total. So I am going to back the Braves tomorrow. Let's talk about this total. This total that the first 5 is at 5. The full game is at 9.5. Do any of those appeal to you?
To be honest, yeah, the first five sitting at 5. The one thing, the stadium did decide to open the roof today, which is a big factor. I mean, you're not getting 100-degree weather over there. Still in the high 80s though, and mid 80s, I believe. So that could cause a few more runs. And you've seen the bats are starting to heat up a little bit in the series. They're getting a lot of batters, a lot of runners on base, both sides, and so the potential for runs has been there. But I feel Urias is going to do his job. My debate is for Kyle Wright and what the Dodgers can do here with their backs up against the wall. Kyle Wright, mind you, he has pitched decently over the last few starts, but his advanced numbers still really don't look that great. And that's still, I mean, I feel the more they play day after day, the bats start getting the advantage. And if we start getting into these bullpens, that this is going to be tough. No matter how deep a bullpen you have, this is starting to get tough when you go to game 3 and 4. So, I mean, I want to take an under at 5, especially even seeing 4.5, and they've been cashing. I mean, they got me today, but I still think I lean under.
And the 2 pitchers out of the bullpen got touched by the Braves, Darren O'Day and Tomlin, are not going to be used in high leverage situations. For you guys, Alex Wood did not look good and got touched, as did Kolarek. So it's not your big arms that got hurt here, although Baez did not look good when he came in to replace Gonsolin. So it's official play time. I am going to move on the Braves, and I'm not in any rush to do it. I'm going to back the Braves first 5 and full game, and I'm going to wait and watch the market and see what kind of line I can get, expecting to get better and better as I wait. Nolly, how are you handling this game? Any official plays?
No, I think as of right now, I think I'm gonna hold off. But if anything, right now, I think I'll be taking value wise first 5 under 5 would probably be the value for the way I look at things.